Hey guys, I'm here with Cody, who has done a phenomenal job of building and motivating a team. And no matter what size your team is, I think what you're going to get is going to be super valuable. Cody, thanks for joining us, man. You have a really good system in place for motivating your team. Can you walk through what that looks like?
Yeah, buddy, happy to. Man, dude, I remember not having a team, and it's so much nicer having a physical team. Like we have an operational side and a sales side. I mean, like from a visual standpoint, really quick, like we have an entire sales team that's out here working, every single day, 16 total sales reps, even waving behind us. And then we have our operational side of our business, which is on the front side of our office. And a couple things that we do, how we find people when it comes to a team, and my three favorite ways to find people are either from internal referral, which we get a lot of. And when your culture is right, you will start getting more internal referrals. From me posting about needing to hire somebody or fill a position on social media, that's my second favorite way. People reaching out from social. I'll even incentivize people in posts like, hey, if you find somebody who needs a job and we hire them, I'll give you $200
Nice.
cash, right? Those kind
Nice.
of things. And then third is from Indeed. When we hire from Indeed, we don't spend any money on Indeed. We don't sponsor it. And then we get people to refer from Indeed, which kind of leads me to next, which is the onboarding piece. And so there's a few things we do. Like one of the things that we do when we're looking through people is we want them to send a 60-second video of why they should be hired and why we should consider them, which helps. We also put them through some type of a assessment. I've actually built my own assessment called, well, nobody knows this actually, called Code,
Nice.
CODE, and it's commander, organizer, developer, and empath. And so different personality types. And three of my top, like we have 16 sales reps, three of my top four sales reps did over $1 million in revenue each last year.
Amazing.
Three of the top four were all empath, then challenger second, which means
Wow.
they're phenomenal with people. They love people. They care about people. They're very loyal, all those things. Then they're very competitive. And so that jive of like personality first, competition second has crushed it for us. That's been amazing. I've never had a chance to actually share that yet, which has been cool.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things you can do is like the faster I can get them doing their job and on the phone, the more successful they will typically become. Most people bury their team in weeks of shadowing and knowledge and books and guides and training videos and all this stuff, right? And listen to this and watch this. And the more I put in their brain in those first few days, in the first few hours, the less likely they are to like actually take action because I'm creating analysis paralysis. I'm creating someone to, and so we get them, we get them, they're dialing like literally within the first couple hours of being here. And then we have different metrics. Like the way we structure our sales team is we have a whole onboarding process that I could get into at some point. But our sales team, we have level one, level two, level three. So you're at level one, which means you have a certain salary and a certain commission. To get to level two, you have to do $15,000 in revenue 2 months in a row. And then boom, congrats, you're at level two and your salary increases and your commission increases. And then after that, you can graduate to level three. And by doing 30K in revenue 2 months in a row, now you're at level three and you have an increased salary, increased commission level. And so they want to earn that. Also, if they don't produce certain numbers 2 months in a row, they go backwards and they can
Okay.
lose salary and lose commission. And so we structure it more like a professional sports team where it's like, hey, dude, I love Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, but if he sucks and we keep losing, we should replace him, right?
Yeah.
So kind of the same concept here, even though we love people, we're a family, but we really operate like a professional sports team. And then a couple things that we do that I think have helped a ton, and then we'll see what other thoughts you have based on what I've said so far. We do an all team meeting at 7:30 in the morning where we just
Yeah.
share wins, which you've seen. I think you've even maybe been to them,
Yeah. Yeah.
personal, professional, and financial wins. And we're sharing those with the group. And we'll share three, four, five, 6 wins to start the day. And then we'll go separate ways. We'll go to an operational team meeting and a sales team meeting. Lauren is involved in the operational team meeting. I'm involved in the sales team meeting. And so that I'm spending about 20 minutes with the sales team every single morning. Sometimes we'll play sales games. Sometimes I'll just speak from the heart. Sometimes we'll role play. And so I've been very much in tune and back involved with the sales team the last 6 months, and that's paid off dividends for the team. And so that's from 7:35 to 8 o'clock every day. And we also have our sales team goes to lunch from 12 to 12:30, and 12:30 to 1, there's another sales meeting every afternoon. And normally it's role playing or playing games, some of those things. Those people underestimate how much they need to like re-enthuse and motivate their people. And then one of the things that I shared recently at Power Players that you heard is I've started doing monthly tag-ins these last several months to where I
Yeah.
meet with every single team member every month. And I do about four a week, 16 sales reps. I do four a week. So like even today, I've got a few after this. And I meet with four a week for like 10, 15 minutes per person. And I just talk about life. Like, I don't want to talk about their production. I don't want to talk about, how things are going or what they're struggling with, unless it comes up. But the main goal is to just check on them as a person. Like, I've had people that were heavily depressed that I found out about because of that tag in. I found out about people swimming in debt, and then I was able to come up with a strategy to help them pay that debt off in under 30 days. And then they're like, I've been paying on this for 5 years, right? Like, there's an immense, like, amazing things that have come out of the tag ins because most people rarely truly know what's going on with their people. And that has been like, as far as building a culture where people like love working there and they love you and they will do anything for you and they're like committed and loyal, we have the best team we've ever had. And a lot of that is a tribute to us really, we always say we care, but less us proving that we care along the way too.
I love that. We talked a lot about culture in the last few minutes. Let's talk about the numbers because that's a huge way to determine the success. I
Yeah.
love walking in and seeing the leaderboard. Can you talk about how you track numbers and how you have your team self-report their own numbers? And then circling back to code, how that impacts them with their competitiveness.
Yeah. So it's that like I'll even step out and just briefly like show it behind me so they at least have a visual of what I'm talking about. But we have a sales board at the end of the room
Nice.
and everybody's putting up their revenue each day, right? Well, I started doing that as a brand new insurance agent when I first started, and I would track that my activity every day and I'd put it on a whiteboard in my office. Then I convinced the sales manager of the local Mutual of Omaha office to do it for the whole office. And so then we started doing it for the whole team. And so now I keep doing it today because it works. And if you don't make a sale, you have to go up and put a zero on the board. Well, when you're competitive, you don't want to put a zero on the board.
Yeah.
And most people in offices, they can temporarily hide behind poor results.
Mhm.
Because there's no transparency, there's no accountability. Like you don't know, right? And so for us, dude, we talk about numbers nonstop. We recognize people who are doing well. We actually say out loud all of everyone's sales numbers from last week on Monday mornings. Like the numbers piece is really important. We have it set up to where it hits our Slack and lets our team know like every time a deal comes in. We have a winning channel where we can celebrate wins with the whole organization as they're happening in real time. And we track deals and we know exactly where everyone stands every day, every week, every month, and for the year. And we regularly talk about it. And when you get competitive people, like I got one individual that's 22, he's really competitive, highly competitive, but he's like middle of the pack this year. Maybe even lower than middle of the pack and doing worse than last year and one of our lower sales reps for the year so far. And it's March 6th at the time we're recording this. And I'm like, dude, I thought you said you were gonna like kick some ass this year, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's up? And so when you can see those things, dude, it just again, transparency of results is very important.
So let's talk about the guy that's not performing as well as you believe that he can. How do you come alongside that person without shaming them? What is the training that you have them do or that you give them to go through after hours?
Yeah, so I'll give you so like one example was a gentleman who was he was middle of the road, he was doing okay. He actually left us for a couple weeks and then he came back and he called me and said, "Can I come back? Like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing now." He said, "And I want to come back." He said, "Because I've never had anyone believe in me like you do."
Nice.
And so he comes back and I've spent a lot of he actually just walked by and he's smiling.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time in tag-ins and other things into helping him believe. Like this individual, low self-confidence, constant doubt, worry, over caution, right? All those things. And I've just really tried to instill confidence. And so like he's very hesitant to like act and do stuff. And when you move slower in every parts of your life, right?
Yep.
Especially
Yep.
it trickles into cells. So I have him like do things out of the ordinary that he wouldn't normally want to do. Like, when he does well and I'm walking by, I'll yell, I'll make him like, I don't know, like scream and yell in front of the whole office and he's terrified to do it. You know what I mean? Just like stuff to like get him out of his bubble and to get him seeing that like, bro, when you move and good things can happen for you, right? And his confidence is built a lot. He's actually second in the office now in sales.
Amazing.
And 6 months ago, he quit and wasn't doing well. And a lot of it is it's belief. Like for people that are listening, it's rarely skill. It's rarely skill. Like and it's rarely that I need to work on them from a professional standpoint. No, it's them as a person first, right? If you think about the whole person theory, like it is them as a person. It is their state, right? As we spent time on, with Tony Robbins in California.
Yeah.
It is them as a person, and so I work a lot on like, okay, what is their state like, which is going to determine what their story, which is their set of beliefs is, which then they can take into whatever strategy they're working on.
I love that. Let's wrap this up. Pretend that I'm an insurance agent sitting here. I'm about to hire my first LOA agent, and I'm going, Cody, I'm going to hire my very first commission salesperson with some salary, just like you do. What are the mistakes that I should not make that you've maybe made in the past? Like, help me avoid some of the things that you've maybe done wrong.
Yeah, some of the biggest mistakes would be don't just hire people because you know them or like them.
Mm.
John Maxwell said your organization's potential is directly related to its personnel potential. And so if you see an organization that's not doing well, it's a reflection of who they've hired
Wow. That's good.
and the leader they have at the moment, right? And so hire the right person, the best person,
Yeah.
right? Now,
Yes.
they need to be a good person. They need to be a good human. Like that's great. That's important. Hire the right person. Second, never hire anybody on a first interview. It shows desperation. It's impatient. And this is coming from somebody that makes decisions like this to spend $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Take 2 or 3 interviews. I didn't used to, a mistake was I didn't put them through an assessment. I didn't understand who they were. Dude, that's important. I've almost hired 3 people the last 90 days that I put through my code assessment, and now we didn't hire them just because I knew it was going to take way too long and they weren't really motivated. Like I can tell you, like if someone is like an organizer developer, but then their empath, which means like personality, relationship with people, care of people, people skills, and competitiveness, or if those two are last, probably a better fit for an operational position, right? Other mistakes would be brutally honest
Hmm.
and don't kick the can down the road. So when they show up 1 minute late, I had a guy that was brand new last year, and he showed up 1 minute late on his first day, and I stopped the whole room and said, "Hey, I wouldn't normally do this." And I said, "This is not the right time to do this, but it's a good lesson for all of us." And I looked at the whole room and said, "Hey, what do you think is about to happen?" They said, "Well, you're about to get onto him for being 1 minute late." I
Yeah.
said, and it's not about the being 1 minute late. I looked at him and said, "But David, you're saying to the entire organization right now that you don't value this position enough to be on time. And it's your first day.
Yeah.
If this continues to happen, you won't have a second day. I love you. I want you here. I'm impressed. I think you're going to make 6 figures. But if you keep doing this, it ain't going to happen,
Yeah.
right?" And so I could keep going, but there's several big mistakes that we've made, and we try not to make anymore.
I love it. I love it. Well, if you're interested to learn more about Cody and how he handles his team, come join us at the Power Players Retreats. Let's go.
Amen.
So, Cody, thank you for taking the time. We're going to wrap it up here. If you're like, oh my gosh, I need to take down all these notes, go to the website and download the playbook. I've got this entire thing written out from our conversation. And again, thank you, Cody, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, bro. Love you.
Thank you for watching. Please take notes, please take action, and subscribe. You will not get any value from the lesson you just got unless you implement it in your business. Please share this episode if you got value from it, and I'll see you online.